Hey there, my name is Cole Adams, and you are watching the best college basketball podcast out there that covers the entire sport of college basketball, brackets, bubbles, and bid stealers. Now, here are your hosts, Sam Fetterman and Jonathan Lidskin.
Good morning, Vietnam. Season 5, episode 75 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid-Stealers. I am that Jonathan. You criticized my energy yesterday. You criticized my energy. You brought this up yourself. How are you? Morning.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning.
Jonathan, this is the first words that we've spoken to each other this morning.
Yeah, it is, which is, that doesn't often happen before a podcast. So we're getting the true, unfiltered, maybe not unfiltered, but thoughts of ourselves this morning.
All right, Jonathan. How are you, though? How was the Big Ten tournament?
The games weren't great yesterday. We got multiple games that were analytically final before the last media timeout, which wasn't great. But
I didn't have that.
Good energy in the building. It was still fun despite the blowouts. Hopefully we get some better games today, and hopefully it stops being a tornado here, so we can actually go.
Big Ten semifinals are always fun, but you know what's even more fun on a day like this is all the championship games, all of the bids being given out, and all of the dreams that are coming true in front of our eyes on Championship Saturday. Let's go through every single championship game that's going to happen today and just kind of discuss it a little bit. Let's start in the America East with the Maine Black Bears and the Bryant Bulldogs at 11 o'clock in the morning. Very early game in Smithfield. Jonathan, do you have any thoughts on Bryant, Maine?
Really good matchup. Really weird not to see Vermont in this title game.
Really weird for this game to not be in Burlington.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But Bryant's a team that has a lot of talent for an America East team, built on being athletic.
And by the way, just Rothstein tweeted Rafael Pinzon is available to this game. He's been battling something for the last couple of weeks, so Pinzon will play for Bryant today. Unclear how much, but he will play.
Yeah, this is a team that's built on speed and athleticism. They're really good defending the rim. And during the regular season, they swept Maine, beat them handily at home. And then when they went to Maine late in the season, they won by 8. So this is a Bryant team that has been absolutely rolling for most of the season, outside of 2 slip-ups, one at Vermont and at home to Albany. I expect the Bulldogs to get it done today because I think they're the better basketball team. But this Maine team has been feisty all year, and they have some guys that can play. I don't know if Bryant is able to speed the game up, how they win the game. They're going to have to slow it down and limit the possessions. And they're gonna have to do work on the glass because Bryant is an athletic team.
Yeah, Jonathan, I agree with you. As you said, this is a Maine team that feisty is the exact word that I would use to describe them. Kellen Tynes, Jaden Clayton, AJ Lopez, Keon Burns. The backcourt is really good for this Maine team. The only problem is I don't think there's enough offensive juice in there to score with Bryant. I think that the Bulldogs just are that much better offensively. This game goes into the 70s. It's Bryant's game. If it goes into the high 60s, it's Bryant's game. Maine wants this game in the low 60s.
Yeah, and
Bryant wants the games in the 80s.
Yeah, Bryant wants the game fast, and Maine definitely wants it slow. What?
PK was behind you.
Yeah, no, he was walking out.
You got another quiz this morning?
No, on Saturday. I think he's probably just headed to the gym, actually.
Anyway.
So, Maine has some guys that are capable of creating their own shot. And, if Maine gets this into a slow-paced game where relying on a couple possessions for guys to make plays, I think they're more than okay with that.
The only problem is Bryant also has plenty of guys. Like Bryant and their team feuds. All right, South Carolina State, Norfolk, MEAC championship game, Jonathan. I picked South Carolina State in the Jerome. Like, they've been playing some really good basketball recently. Eric Martin is a really underrated really underrated coach at this point in time. They are 190th in KenPom. They're only a 1-point underdog, according to KenPom, in this game. They beat Norfolk back on March 1st. Like, I don't think anyone would be surprised if they were able to win this game. I know Drayton Jones hasn't played particularly well in the MEAC tournament, and I know that Norfolk State is Norfolk State. They're the deans of this conference, Robert Jones. But I mean, I like the South Carolina State team a heck of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Norfolk got scared yesterday. They were down at half legitimately to Morgan State, who is not a great basketball team, at least not to the caliber of Norfolk. So today is a step up in competition, and Norfolk is going to have to play better if they want to get it done. So I talked in my Rise and Shine earlier this year about how great Norfolk was and how great of a year that they were having, that they could potentially be like a 14 seed if they were to get into the NCAA tournament. But so you're right. South Carolina State has been playing some great basketball. They're on an 11 game win streak, fourth longest in the country. And they handled Central pretty easily yesterday. So they're probably the team that is better rested, getting to set some guys in the second half. This is going to be a battle for both these teams.
Agreed. Alabama State, Jackson State, SWAC final. I don't even try to predict.
I have no real thoughts on this one.
I look, the SWAC is a completely bonkers league. Give me Jackson State, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they've won their conference tournament games by 15 and 21. So.
Mountain West, Boise State, Colorado State. This should be a really fun one. They're 44 and 45 in KenPom. Winner goes to the NCAA tournament. Loser, I don't know if I can say the same.
So let's start with this. Most interesting game of the day to me, because you have no idea what's going to happen with the loser here. Like, logic tells me.
Here's my thing. I saw the Mountain West get underseeded last year, and then the Mountain West underperform. I think the committee, I know it's a different committee, looks at that and says, we can't give that much respect to the Mountain West again. And I think the loser gets left out.
Yeah, so Boise, I think, has
the loser straight up won't have the resume metrics.
Boise has a better chance for sure if they lose to get in. I think Colorado State probably needs to win today.
I think they do need to win.
Like, if you look at both teams' resumes, and I'm just comparing the two here, not to other teams, both have like tournament caliber predictive metrics. Colorado State, with how well they've played, is all the way up to 45th in KenPom. Boise State just ahead of them at 44th. But you're right, Sam. It's the resume metrics. 52 and 50 in strength of record. Teams are hovering around 50 and wins above bubble. And I mean that's when you get into Boise State has a quad 4 loss and a quad 3 loss. Colorado State has 2 quad 3 losses, and it's not like these teams are stacking good wins on good wins. That's the problem here. So I think for Boise, it's a little more clear if they lose. They have, or I should say, a little more dicey because they have probably have a better chance to get in if they lose tonight. But Colorado State, I think, probably needs to win the game more.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting a 5 bid Mountain West.
No.
And I mean, honestly, San Diego State might be a little dicey right now.
Yeah.
I don't.
Would it totally surprise you to see them out?
No, it wouldn't. I think the loss yesterday, combined with how much we've overestimated the Mountain West over the last few years in bracketology, kind of shows me, hey, maybe they're not going to give the Mountain West the respect that we give it in bracketology, and we end up with Xavier, North Carolina, Indiana, and Texas. Which
I wonder if
God, that sounds gross.
I wonder if the BPI being somewhat fixed for the Mountain West teams affects their seeding at all. Because as much as we hate BPI, it is on the team sheet.
The BPI sucks.
It's terrible, but it's on the team sheet. So you can't just assume that committee members ignore it because it's a bad metric.
They need to fix the BPI just in general.
They do. I mean, it still takes into account the preseason ranking. So dumb. Like, what at this point of the year? Why? What's the point?
Arizona, Houston, Big 12 championship. What a classic Big 12 championship game we have here in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, just it makes you feel Big 12, right? I think Houston handles business today. They got beat in the Big 12 championship game last year pretty badly by Iowa State, but I think they match up with Arizona really well. I think Houston's physicality inside makes Arizona play a more perimeter-oriented game, and that's not what they want to do. I don't think this is a game that, even without Jerron Roberts, that Henry Vizar can go in and do what he did against Kansas the other night, and what they were doing last night. And I don't think Arizona can continue to shoot this well from three.
This game doesn't have any intrigue to me.
Arizona's just, they went 8 of 16 from three last night. They're not a 3-point shooting team.
Like, Houston's going to be a 1 seed. Arizona's going to be a 4 or 5 seed. None of these teams have anything to play for.
It's just a good basketball game when it comes down to it. But at this point,
At the end of the day, is anybody watching this game over to Mountain West?
Probably like casual fans will.
Yeah, because they haven't watched Houston and Arizona this year. They're watching them because they haven't watched.
Real ball knowers get Boise, Colorado.
Real ball knowers have watched Arizona 15 times and Houston 15 times. We're at the point where we know who these teams are. I don't need to watch high major championship games.
Yeah, no, I mean real ball knowers will have the Mountain West game on the main screen.
I will say though, there is an exception to not watching high major championship games today.
Big East.
I will be watching Creighton St. John's.
Yeah, Creighton beat St. John's in the regular season at Creighton in a just slugfest game.
St. John's beat Creighton at St. John's in the regular season.
I just cannot get a true feel for this Creighton team at all. No idea what to expect out of them tonight and next week. Well, all right. So I'll dive into the matchup a little bit while we wait for Sam here. Creighton has been playing some, I wouldn't call it great basketball, but good basketball recently. The DePaul game the other night was obviously a scare, but have won 6 of the last 7, and they played really well last night against a UConn team that I still just can't quit on. UConn was, just not to their best defensively last night, and that's been a problem. But Creighton really controlled that game from start to finish, outside of a brief UConn run in the second half. Tonight, Creighton has had success against St. John's this year in low possession games, which is, Creighton's a mid-tempo team. They're not, going to play fast or slow either way. But I like the idea of Creighton slowing this down tonight and really, getting into their stuff. Greg McDermott's a great X's and O's coach. I think, if Creighton can take care of the ball, not turn it over. Creighton's not a team that's going to turn you over, but if they take care of the ball themselves, if they do work on the glass, if Creighton does the little things tonight, I think they'll have a shot. Obviously, these St. John's fans are going to be crazy because it's St. John's at MSG in the Big East Championship. We haven't had this kind of energy around that fan base in forever. So I'll take St. John's. Let's go.
St. John's hasn't won a Big East title since 2000.
Yeah.
Creighton's never won a Big East title. We're getting some new blood.
Mm-hmm.
And this tournament, it means something. These championship games, they mean something. The Big East tournament, we've discussed this. It's the only one of the high major tournaments that genuinely has a pedestal to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten is a good tournament. The SEC is usually a weird tournament. None of the other tournaments feel like the Big East tournament feels like a mid-major tournament, but it's a high major league, and there's going to be multiple teams in the NCAA tournament. Obviously, it's going to be a 4-bid league. Hopefully, no, it's definitely going to be a 4-bid league. It could be a 5-bid league. I'm hoping Xavier gets in. I think Xavier is a good enough team to make the NCAA tournament, but they blew that chance against Marquette real bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have locked them up for sure.
All right, let's get Single A MAC. Miami and Akron. John Gross against Travis Steele. I was really hoping for Akron Kent because Akron Kent is an absurd rivalry. If you don't know about Akron Kent and the mega rivalry that is, then you don't know mid-major ball. It's the biggest rivalry probably in all of mid-major basketball, off the top of my head at least.
But I think these two teams that are very similar.
But these have been the top two teams all year, so I don't mind seeing them in the final. For what it's worth, I will not be watching this game. It's the same time as my MAC, so I don't have any time for it.
Yeah, but yeah, two teams that do similar stuff in terms of how they beat you. Both are good offensive teams. Both shoot the ball. Akron, I think we've talked about, is just better than the rest of the conference, and I don't really expect Miami, Ohio to win. I just think Akron is a team because of their size could definitely struggle against a team in the tournament next week. But in the MAC, I don't think teams are big enough or athletic enough to really overwhelm them inside, and especially not a Miami, Ohio team that shoots a ton of threes and is good at it. But these two teams played twice during the regular season, I believe. Right? Or is it just once? No, it's just once. And we actually talked about it a little on the pod when they did. It was an Akron blowout victory. They scored 102 points. It was it was the second most points they scored all year. So, yeah, Akron's offense is humming. They are playing some great basketball down the stretch here. I think they get it done tonight.
I agree.
What next? Your MAC?
Yeah. Mount St. Mary's and Iona. I don't think anyone expected this one coming in. Mount down Melo Pacheco, down Terrell Ard comes into the conference tournament. Down obviously two of their top bodies out there, their best shooter and a key big, but it doesn't matter. They come in, they grind out a win over Marist, a Marist team that had really been struggling. So okay, that's one level, and then they go and they beat the Merrimack Zone. I'm still not sure that was a foul on Trumper. I would need to watch the video back over again with 30 seconds left, but the Mount deserved that game. The Mount played better for 40 minutes, I think. Outside of that, there were a couple moments where Merrimack made their run, but I thought the Mount played better for 40 minutes, and that was really surprising. to me. I did not expect that one bit. Merrimack has been awesome all year. And Sean Trumper played his best game of the season. Bud Clark definitely did not.
Winner goes to Dayton here.
Shout out Patrick Hay and Malcolm Dredd, two guys that don't get a lot of minutes throughout the year, but were big. They were big in this game.
Dallas Hobbs good.
Dallas Hobbs played, yeah.
Okay. I know he was like hobbled, no pun intended.
And then Iona over Quinnipiac, 81-73. They got out to a 14-point lead. They got out to a double-digit lead early. They never trailed. Quinnipiac pushed. They tied it twice, but they never took the lead. Adam Jai was incredible in this game. That's the Jonathan Lidskin all underrated freshman list.
Yeah, he was. I think Iona goes as far as their guards take them. You know, they're not a team that's tremendous offensively. They're a more defense-oriented team. But
don't forget, now 4 games in a row that they've scored 75-plus points.
Yeah. So if Jai and Reeves are doing their thing, I think Iona wins tonight. Obviously,
I don't see why they wouldn't be.
A lot of pressure on, a freshman in Jai, but he's been outstanding in this tournament. He's a really good player and, a future player of the year candidate in this league. If he's still at Iona, I'm going to take Iona tonight. I got to ride the Tobin wave, Sam. I have to. No other way.
Making a pick.
Huh? I know you're not.
I will not be making a pick.
But yeah, impressive run by the Mount with their injuries and being able to get to the title game.
Is Conference USA?
Yeah.
I don't really have any thoughts.
It's Jacksonville State versus Liberty, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we get the 2 top seeds in this league. I thought there would be more chaos, but it's kind of been how it's gone in Champ League.
We honestly haven't had a ton of,
which is great for like the quality of the NCAA tournament, by the way.
And it's not like Championship Week hasn't been fun.
No, the amount of games always makes it fun.
Owen Freeman to the portal.
Yeah, didn't we know that like months ago?
Honestly, we did. I don't know if everyone did.
Well, now you do. Liberty was down to Kennesaw yesterday, came back to win. This is a team that plays tremendous defense, and they also have the number 1 offense in Conference USA. They have, survived key injuries this year. They are a team that shoots a ton of threes and shoots them very well. Jacksonville State is a team that is very reliant on one player. And
man, I can't wait for someone to pay Owen Freeman and then remember that he's the worst defender in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think Liberty takes care of business tonight.
Okay. ACC, go.
I'll take Louisville. I just think, without Flag, I think Duke has stretches where their offense isn't really crisp. The ball wasn't, moving super well last night in the second half. And, they're just not as good of a team. Like, I think, I said earlier in the year that if Louisville and Duke had played a week or 2 later than they did, that's probably a more competitive game, and Louisville has maybe beats them. I just, I think Duke is, Duke. I don't think Duke is like fully. How am I trying to say this? Because I don't want to say they're not like invested in winning the game, because that's not true. But I think that I don't think it'll matter a ton to the Duke coaching staff if they lose tonight. That's a competitive team and they'll always fight, but they have, I think, bigger goals in mind than winning the ACC tournament title tonight without their best player. And it would be super impressive if they were able to without Flag, but I don't think that, I think a Louisville team that is playing really well, probably comes in pretty motivated here after losing to Duke earlier in the year.
Just one thing I want to think about, like kind of circling back to the Mountain West. Colorado State's really making me fucking fall for them. Am I really going to pick a Mountain West team again?
Dude, they're Mountain West teams don't usually have NBA players. And they do.
When does the when does the exception become the rule?
He is ridiculous, man.
UC Irvine, UC San Diego, game of the day. Potential for a 2-bid Big West. Do you think we get one?
No, because I think UC San Diego wins tonight.
I do as well. I think this is a good matchup for them. They are able to bother everybody offensively, including this Irvine team. They're really good at getting to the rim. They're really good about hitting their shots. I just don't think UC San Diego has a weakness, like at this level at least. They are really complete, really well coached, and they've been taking care of business all year. They've won 14 games in a row.
Yeah, I mean they played Irvine twice. One of them, was a loss at home, but the second time they go to Irvine and they kill them. And they've been a different team since they lost 2 out of 3 to Irvine and Riverside, and they have the longest win streak in the nation at 14.
Honestly, I don't even think they've been a different team. Like before that, they went to Utah State and won at the Spectrum. Like they beat James Madison. They beat. They played really tough with San Diego. They beat UCSB on the road. It's just they had a rough patch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right about that.
A moment of silence for our fallen Mustangs. We thank you for your observation of our moment of silence.
Yeah. No, I think UC San Diego's a better team here. I want to see them in the tournament. I want to see Irvine in the tournament too, but Irvine kind of had their chance and didn't really capitalize on it. Plus, the predictives aren't nearly as good as UC San Diego. So
I think UC Irvine's awesome, though. I think they're really good.
Yeah, no, it's a good team. They would beat
Mizzou.
Huh?
They would beat Mizzou.
Yeah. We've talked about that many times. They like Andre Henry being out for the season changed some things for them. Yeah, fun contest tonight. Grand Canyon, Utah Valley.
This is the Sickos game. This is the game that you'll be watching as I'm driving back from Atlantic City, and we're on the phone. So you'll be giving me play-by-play as we do our bracketology.
Wonderful. So excited.
This should be a fun one. I remember last year UT Arlington, Grand Canyon, and I was getting texts from a couple people, Lawrenson being one of them, just about the fight in this game. I'm excited for this one, more so for you to just text me about it and call me about it.
Utah Valley's awesome, man.
I think they're going to win.
I'll take GCU, but...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Utah Valley's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to take GCU. 5 leagues have semifinals today. We already talked Ivy yesterday. Did we?
Oh, yeah, we did.
I don't really want to go into anything with Big Ten, SEC. We've talked those leagues all year.
How about the Believers?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I saw her face, and I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind.
There's a little doubt in my mind.
It's a song, Jonathan.
I know. I'm aware.
I don't know the next lyric.
Fully aware. I listened to that song many times before.
It's an excellent song.
It is an excellent song.
It's no walk of life.
No, it's not.
All right, I think we're done here.
We're losing viewers by the second.
I think we're done here.
Oh, you want me to take us out?
Just quick bid stealers. UAB North Texas is the real American Conference Championship game. I will not acknowledge Memphis until they make me acknowledge Memphis.
Still probably gonna pick them to win a tournament game.
Sorry, Ball No or Will. I'm not acknowledging your team. I'll acknowledge you. Won't acknowledge your team.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's get out of here.
If you came to hear about Tyler Self and where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to be a believer, you came to the right place.
Believer.
And if you came to hear about Caleb Grill and the latest happenings with him, you came to the right place. This has been Season 5, Episode 75 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. Enjoy Championship Saturday, everyone. We'll see you next time.